Kinder Surprise has always been my favorite chocolate. Milk chocolate egg with a sweet milk layer underneath. I gotta be honest, I never really thought about what flavor the white part was. I guess I just always assumed it was white chocolate. But oh my goodness, there's a little choking hazard inside. Who would have thought? Obviously the main draw for the Kinder Surprise chocolate is the toy you get inside, even if, well, it is just landfill. It didn't used to feel like that when you get them as a kid. And even though I'm extremely jealous of all the fun flavors of cereals America has, I do feel a little bad that you guys missed out on Kinder Surprise. But hey, Kinder Joy's alright. But Kinder Surprise wasn't the only chocolate egg with a toy inside on the Australian market. 1997 saw the release of YOWIE.
Share the magic of YOWIE power! New from Cadbury.
Similarly, a chocolate with a toy inside, but unlike Kinder, it's only milk chocolate, rather than having the white inside. And rather than just being an egg shape, they're instead moulded into the shape of the mythical Australian folklore creature, the Yowie.
G'day, Cobber. Welcome to the Outback. Won't you join me by the Coolabah tree? I want to tell you a story about the mythical Yowie. The Yowie's a ginormous fella, ranging from heights scaling anywhere from 6 to 12 feet, often described to look like that of an ape. He's got a big flat nose, he walks on 2 legs, and he hasn't got much of a neck. These Yowies are shy little buggers. They don't like to be around us humans. They prefer to keep to themselves in the remote areas of the outback. The Yowie's often compared to other large, hairy mythical creatures like the American Bigfoot or the Himalayan Yeti. Bloody take a look at this. Here's a picture of a Yowie statue in Kilcoy. Magnificent. Love, I gotta tell you, I'm just an ignorant white man. I'm a descendant of the people that stole this land. And the last thing I want to do is pick up a book and read. So that's all the info I've got on this beautiful creature we call a Yowie.
YOWIE was the joint effort of 2 men, Jeff Pike and Bryce Courtenay. Jeff Pike was born in England, but found himself in Australia after serving the Royal Navy. And goddamn, this dude seems as cool as HE double hockey sticks. He started working on a farm and got really into the wildlife here in Australia. And he devoted his spare time to nurturing sick, injured, and orphaned animals back to health. What a king! Then he used his mad illustrating skills to make the Australian equivalent of a Kinder Surprise. I love this guy. Later in life, Jeff and his pal Bryce took the idea of the magical kingdom of Yowie to Cadbury.
That's what's new from YOWIE power!
Releasing Yowie to massive success in 1997. The Yowies come in one of 6 foil wrappers. There's Squish, Rumble, Nap, Diddy, Crag, and Boof. During Yowie's initial run, the toys came in a capsule that was shaped like a Yowie, and it fit pretty snugly inside the chocolate, whereas now they're more of just like a generic egg shape, which is kinda lame, but we'll touch more on that later. Initially, the toys you'd find inside were little models of animals native to Australia and New Zealand, as well as the rarer toys of the Yowies themselves. My partner and I recently bought a couple of Yowies, and I got this Rumble figure out of mine, and it's kind of what sparked the idea for this video. I didn't know you could get anything other than animals, and the quality of the Yowie toy is way higher than the little dinosaurs we got. Anyway, Yowie was massively successful, selling over 1 million a week.
YOWIE power!
The next 2 series of toys to release were also based on animals native to Australia and New Zealand. But then later they moved on to animals from around the world, and then even later than that they moved on to dinosaurs. I guess they were running out of ideas. But wait! They weren't. Because after the run of the prehistoric animals, they moved on to endangered species. And then after that, they moved on to extinct animals.
Me too!
Which is a really nice way of showing how shitty us humans are.
Human being!
I remember getting Yowies as a kid, but according to Wikipedia, they got discontinued in 2005. And I barely remember anything before 2005, so I guess Yowie had a pretty significant impact on me as a kid. After Yowie was discontinued in the early 2000s, it remained nothing but a distant memory for Australians. Until in 2014 when the Yowie company purchased the rights and started producing Yowie for the American market. I was initially thrown off by this because America's kinda well known for having Kinder Surprise banned there, but Yowie was allowed the right to sell because of a patented safety technology, where the capsule inside is visible from the outside of the chocolate, but there was absolutely 0 images online of this, so I got the help of an American friend of mine to do some sleuthing. And he provided this video of him opening the American Yowie.
So here we have these Yowie chocolates. This one's named Boo. And there's a toy inside here. But they have managed to just barely skate by FDA regulations by putting the toy in some sort of special capsule. And well, that's what we're going to figure out because, well, I've never seen it and Jesse's never seen it and he's curious. So let's pop one of these guys open, huh? This guy is named Rumble. Oh, well, that's it. So that was kind of anticlimactic. Here's the chocolate.
Let's pause my friend's video to do a little bit of analyzing. Both the American and the Australian Yowie have these little tabs molded into one half of the chocolate. Comparing his Yowie to the Australian Yowie, it looks like their patented technology is just the fact that they haven't molded the two halves of the chocolate together. And a Kinder Surprise likes this. Although you're gonna have to take my word for it because it's really hot under these lights and the chocolate's a little bit melted. But, I mean, you can see there's no tabs there. I don't think it's there to help bind the Yowie together, rather I think it's there to prevent the American Yowie from melting together in hot weather. Whereas I think the two halves of the Australian Yowie would just be melded together during the production. When my American friend opened his first Yowie, the two halves just kind of spilled out of the foil, and this isn't really an issue that happens with the Australian Yowie. I also think the size of the eggs the toys come in differ between the two. It looks like the egg the toys come in the American Yowie is larger to help further prevent the two halves of the chocolate from sticking together, as well as making it just immediately obvious the toy is inside the chocolate. But I honestly have no real way of proving that. That just kind of seems to be what it looks like from comparing my opening experience to my American friends. All of my American friends' Yowies were shattered and beat up, and I also found that all of the Yowie I bought were also shattered, and I bought an entire case of them. So it looks like the quality control with Yowies are a little bit lackluster, which is kind of disappointing. My American friend opened 3 separate Yowies and got the same toy in each one.
If anybody wants one of these, let me know. You can have one. It was held by yours truly with these fingers.
And after opening a whole pallet of Yowies for this video, I stumbled on a little bit of an issue with the current series of Yowie. The series of Yowie running now is called Yowie Ultimate Dinosaurs, having 17 toys to collect, 2 of the Yowie, Rumble and Diddy, as well as 15 dinosaurs. Like I said earlier, when my American friend opened his 3 Yowies, he got 3 of the same dinosaur, and when I opened a whole pallet of Yowies, I happened to get a hell of a lot of duplicates. The 2 Yowie available in this series are a rarer toy to get, which means you're pretty likely to get one of the 15 dinosaurs. The very first series of Yowies in '97 had 50 animals you could collect, whereas having only 15 dinosaurs in the current run leaves a pretty high chance of getting duplicates. And I gotta be honest, again, it's a little disappointing. Like, I'm an adult, kind of, and I don't plan on collecting 15 hunks of plastic. But it has to be disappointing if you're a kid and you get a duplicate anytime your parents happen to buy you a Yowie. I'm gonna go a little bit off script here to say that I kind of got really aggressive towards Yowie out of nowhere, and I think I'm going to go back to a more calmer tone for the rest of the video. But that's because a lot of the complaints I have about Yowie, I only figured out after writing the script. I went out after writing the script to go get a whole pallet of Yowies, and I got my friend to get some too. And it's only after opening so many Yowies throughout making this video that I realized that they have a lot of issues. The toys aren't very high quality, not like they used to be. The chocolate doesn't seem to be as good as people remember it being, as well as the fact that they're shattered half the time you open them, and just that, again, there's not a real variety of toys to collect in the current series. Yowie saw decent sales in the US initially, because they were one of, if not the only, toy-inside chocolate on the market. Although sales slowed down in 2018 when Kinder Surprise started selling their products on American store shelves. Google says that Kinder Surprise is still banned in America, so I'm assuming the Yowie article stating, quote, Kinder Surprise was allowed to enter the US market in 2018 is referring to Kinder Joy, but I wasn't entirely sure about that. So again, I got the help from an American friend to clear this up. From what he found, Kinder Surprise is in fact still banned in America, but they do sell Kinder Joy. So I guess Yowie has kind of monopolized the toy inside gimmick in the US market. Yowie didn't make a return to Australia until 2017, 3 years after its release in America, which is kind of insane to me because it seems wild to release a chocolate that Australians have nostalgia for in another country, and it's also based off an Australian folklore creature. But, I mean, I guess maybe it was like a legal thing and they hadn't figured it out yet. I don't know. The Yowie sold here in Australia now is very different from the ones I remember. Like I mentioned earlier, they now come in this little egg-shaped container rather than being molded to the shape of the Yowie itself. And the toys are now in one solid piece rather than being a little articulated figure like they were before. And that's now something that Kinder has over Yowie. But Kinder still produces this kind of shit, so I mean, I don't know. While doing research for this video, I stumbled on the Yowie website, which has a surprisingly decent amount to do on it for a website that I'm sure no one visits. There's a section of the website called the YOWIE that involves a bunch of crafts and activities to do involving the Yowie. So let's go take a look.
This monkey really makes me want to find out what my spirit animal is, but that section of the website doesn't work for me. So instead I'll surprise my partner with a romantic gift.
Mickey? I got you a gift.
Oh, hello.
What do you think?
What is this?
It's a bouquet.
A bouquet of Yowie.
It's for you.
You killed him.
Do you like it?
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
But the thing on the Yowie website that really caught my eye, and is the reason we're doing this segment, is these Halloween jelly halves.
So let me take you to my kitchen so we can find out what jelly poured into a chocolate egg tastes like. The jelly's set, so that means it's decorating time. Life got in the way a little bit, and they look like this now. We'll forget about what they look like, and instead see what they taste like. It kind of tastes like a Terry's chocolate orange or a Jaffa, but like just worse. It's like a Jaffa if a Jaffa was slimy and goopy.
Today, YOWIE sits on the store shelves here in Australia, but it feels largely forgotten about. There's been a couple of times since 2017 that I've spotted them in the chocolate aisle and decided to pick one up. And while YOWIE was once a beloved chocolate to Australians, it now feels like a shell of what it used to be. If you grew up in Australia and happened to stumble on this video, I hope I brought you a bit of nostalgia. Maybe next time you're at Woolworths or Coles, you'll notice the YOWIE tucked into the bottom shelf below the gum and decide to pick one up. And if you're American, I'd genuinely love to know your thoughts on YOWIE, so please let me know in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you have an amazing day.